Hey, welcome to Seduction Tech. I am here with a special person. I am here with Jackie. Tell us who you are.
So I like to write stream consciousness, mental health, relationships, and insecurities. I like to write all about that, take candid photos. Jax is more of a persona that I could say anything that I want, and Jackie is like, hey, what's up? So yeah,
Got it.
I don't know if that makes
So
sense.
it makes a lot of sense because in seeing your content, for example, in Substack, I think you are a little bit more free. Is that am I making the right assessment? What do you do in Substack?
Substack, I like to travel and I like to just take photos. I write spicy stories. I write about mental health, and it's where I could put all of the voices in my head all in one place. You can't do that on Instagram because it's more like cookie cutter. And then TikTok, I felt is very like TikTok. I don't like memes.
Okay, so you're this is my take. I think you're an artist that expresses yourself in many different ways, but I think you also are not afraid to express yourself because I think that that's a problem with a lot of us human is that we're so afraid of judgment, and I think that you in Substack found a little bit of a let me yell one time and I don't care.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm kind of surprised about like followers and subscribers because nothing is planned. It's just me, like, and how I feel. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm alone a lot and I've traveled a lot and I've streamed before. I used to do ASMR and I had like 3,000 followers on YouTube and almost 5,000. And I kind of had like a mental breakdown from it because it was a lot. C'est parce que je parle couramment le français, donc je suis bilingue.
Wow, that's very aim is hard. That's that whole industry there. So one thing that kind of caught my attention in your writing as I'm scrolling through Substack, that how I found you because I don't know if I found you like at a place, and I don't know if this has always been the case. It seemed like you were fed up, right, with men in particular, with a lot of disrespect, with a lot of sort of treating you like a piece of meat kind of thing. Is that normal, or did I just find though? Is that where I found you in that place?
Well, that's normal. So all my life, so whether it's in France, Belgium, or United States, when you speak another language, it's like a very fetish thing. And I think it's odd. And then I just think that I don't like how men see people as objects. And I used to do sugar babying. And it's more here in the States that men are insecure and they need other people, especially younger women, to feel something.
Do
That's
you
just my
what
perspective. I don't know.
First of all, okay, what's sugar baby? So for us that
Uh,
don't know, because I don't.
so I'm the girl that is like on yachts and boats, like, hey, what's up? But I'm not there to stay, just there to visit. Older men. Yeah.
Got it. Oh, I got it. Okay, it's like sugar mama, sugar. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so I didn't know that was the term. That's great to know.
I'm just cheap. I don't want to pay for my own boat for the day or something.
Makes
That's all
sense.
that
I wish we men had it
yeah.
like that, where like women are just picking us to go selling with them. But maybe one day it'll change. In that respect, uh,
There
it
are
seems
women, there's
that.
couples. Sorry.
Well,
There's
yeah,
a
but that
whole.
then you
You've not gone
that
down that rabbit
that
hole. You haven't
well,
gone
yeah,
down.
that you could exactly. I mean, it's also taste, right? Because I think you don't have like the beautiful model couple either, right? They're the ones that are really taking you out. Or you
Maybe they think so. Maybe like they think so, like after like a couple drinks. I don't know.
did
But
you
you
ever
have to
have
be
like?
really.
No, no, go ahead.
I
You have
say
to be
you have
really
to be
what?
really strong as a person to do it though, because you got to be professional too, and you can't say any names, and you can't. You have to act how they want you to act. It's really difficult, actually. It's
Interesting.
yeah.
So these I'm assuming these older men, they're not models. Uh, like I
No,
mean, physically speaking. Um,
physically speaking, they are like 5'9", and they have a either they have some kind of deep sadness inside them. So you could be like in a mansion. Like recently, I was in the Keys and I was in a three-story mansion. I posted if you look at my Instagram, all those beautiful photos you see, that's just me being in places that are very expensive or being with people. But the thing is that they're really sad, so they do a lot of drugs and they want people to listen to them because when you get really really rich, people start to say yes, 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 yes. And
Were
I
you
think
ever
that's the
with
problem.
at Charlie Sheen's yacht or no? I'm just with you.
No, I'm not 18. No, he's a whole different person. This is just Miami. Yeah.
Okay. That's- so so this how does a man, right? Because and this wasn't part of the conversation, but it's interesting that in a way some of these men that are powerful are using money as seduction, right? Because it's not that they're seducing you, turning you on, but they're alluring you to take a form of a lifestyle. Do you think that that's something that they can keep up? If the
So
money dried up, can they still do it?
honestly, I could tell you a story, but like I said, it has to be no names can be said.
No, yeah, no.
I've known a couple of multimillionaires and they couldn't. They don't know how to like connect with someone personally. Like they use their money, their Rolls Royce or their first class tickets and all their money to hide a very sad and very vulnerable, but also kind of an ugly, if I want to say, personality. So you could be in the most beautiful place and have a lot of money, but if that person's really broken, they're still that person they were before they made it. A lot of them weren't born rich. So they're still struggling like a lot. Like, and they talk to me about their exes, why they don't want them, while they're feeding into all their habits to drugs, to women, to traveling, anything to keep the momentum going, to keep that dopamine hit so they don't stop and think. If they stop and think, they'll probably die. I mean, saw a guy like have coke running down his nose, showing me his diamonds and shit. And I'm just like, oh, this is crazy. I don't want this. So yeah, it made me question a lot. I mean, it's still happening. It looks nice. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it's sad. I don't know.
Do you think have you made more connections with, let's say, someone that doesn't have that? I mean, in your whole life, like just a regular Joe that you maybe falling in love or whatever, as opposed to this lifestyle. Do you think that you could fall for one of these guys with the lifestyle, or are what has happened? No. So tell me the contrast from the average guy to this.
Okay, so wait, first of all, what's the definition of an average guy so I know?
He can't afford a yacht and go and live in a mansion. He probably has a job and he has an apartment somewhere. He lives a normal, what we would call, you know, not bad, but he doesn't have the luxury to show you his diamonds, basically.
I think that's just them talking because they don't have real friends. But I don't know actually. I kind of am by myself in the fact that I'm kind of like a man where I have my own money put away and I don't really expect. I mean, if I fall in love with someone, it would be for them. And I am kind of talking to someone, but we'll see how it goes. Because so far, all men, I feel that I don't know. People scare me. I don't know I've seen too much. I don't know. One minute maybe, next minute maybe not. Could
So
you
this
fall in
person,
love?
I'm sorry.
Could you fall in love with someone if they had money, or if they did have money, or you would just like them, right? Or would it be a factor?
Well, I think men, we think different, right? Because I don't think we look at a woman and say, oh, I wonder how much money she has, if she can provide for me or take care of me. No, I'm not saying all men, but most men are probably looking more first at some sort of attraction and then develop from there. Where I think, and this is my opinion, but maybe women see it differently. Where, okay, if I give this guy an opportunity and I fall for him, is this someone that can protect me both, financially or physically in the future?
Expect that, but I feel that because it's 2025, we've been through a pandemic. I think that men and women should have a dating fund and should have a for them fund. I think men should worry about if someone has their own money because so a lot of these men have all divorces in common and they'll talk about how they had to give money away. You know, some of them were okay with it, some of them not okay with it, but they were still talking about it. And I think it goes down to hard work. I don't think that should be a value in dating someone. I think everyone's hard work should stick to themselves, and whoever makes the most should contribute the most. But I don't believe in that men think with money, not anymore. I mean, all the credit cards and all the stuff you could rent, it would concern me. Honestly, if you're spending like a lot and you don't make the salary to make it up, I'd be really, really worried. That's why I'm scared because men are flashy, but you can't anymore. I know too many people in Miami that I had a guy rent out $2,000, on tables at a club for me and stuff. What does that say about him? That says like, no, no, thank you. I don't know.
Oh, so that actually was a turnoff.
It is definitely a turnoff. It tells me you don't know anything about money or that you think life is all about money. It should be about who you are as a person. It should be about like as we grow old, will I still love you? Like, do you turn me on? It's really the mind. Physical things don't make you happy. No one would do drugs if that were true, and no one would. I don't know. Just I travel a lot. I just got back from Paris, Rome, and London, and that was really unhappy. I lived abroad. I've been to China. I mean, I lived in Southeast Asia for 2 months. It's not happiness. I've gotten everything I wanted. Still not happy. I don't know what happiness is, but it's not buying things. That's too sad.
That's a great message for men because I think, for example, that guy that bought the $2,000 table at the club, he probably he's thinking he's impressing you, and but really maybe he could have saved that money and impressed you
Oh,
in a
and
different
a
way, right?
dress and shoes. You got me $1,000 dress. It's still in my closet. Got me shoes. I'm dumb. I should have got a purse. But at the end of the day, what does that say about me though? I just want to have fun.
Well, what
But
does
I'm
it say
not.
about you and to you?
To me, it says like I want something a lot deeper. For the moment, it's fun. As long as you can waste money, as long as that's my money. That's what that means. I'm smart about money. If you don't have to pay for it, I don't think you should. I'm very thrifty. I like to save. You have to have savings. I don't like men that want to spend it all. Then they get like three wives and then they're like 60 wondering what the fuck did I do? I don't know. It's too much.
That's great. But that was great. Thank you for going down this little hole here because we were going over here. But I think a lot of men, I think they need to because this podcast is about that. It's about this isn't about theory. This is about real life. And you're telling men, hey, this happened, and he still didn't get here, right? See, he bought these things and he couldn't get inside what really matters. So that tells man is like, wait, maybe money's not the answer. Maybe it's a bonus, but not the
Yeah,
end.
no, believe me, it's a bonus. But I mean, what I go for people that for men, a seductive technique is listening, listening and responding. Um, if when you're listening to me and you're not saying the same things over and over that every other person has said to me, then you have my attention. If you care about me and show me little ways you could care, I really like that. And if you buy me something, I'd rather it be like, over time. Because all the gifts that I've gotten, like Tiffany necklaces, over $1,000, Tory Burch, Gucci, all that shit, it was way too fast. It's very suspicious. And it felt very too much. It didn't make me feel safe. So I do agree with you. A man should make you feel safe in a sense. It doesn't feel safe to me because it's like my stepdad has always had a budget, has always had savings. You don't want to trust the man that's going to the strip club and spending thousands on women. That's not a trustworthy person. I don't know.
That
What
no,
have you,
no,
what do
yeah,
you think?
I agree as well. I think money really has nothing to do with well, let's say love, right? Because if we want to talk about sex or something like that, physical, then it's a business exchange that's different. But I'm speaking of if to make her fall in love with you, I believe there's got to be a connection. And I think
Yeah.
money could becomes irrelevant at that point because how many women are not out there with men that are the worst, unemployed, they don't work, they don't have anything to offer, they probably are abusive, and they love these guys. They love them. So obviously, it has nothing to do with money or status or power. It
Well,
has to do with
that's a trauma bond. It's just like you're getting them to like addicted to like toxic love. If men really want to know how love works in seduction, if your parents have a good relationship, you're gonna fall in love whoever reminds you of your parents. And you're gonna fall in love with stability. Stability is really important. So yeah, money is important, but if you could get me through the next depression and we don't have to worry, like, so I'm thankful for my stepdad because we didn't have to worry during the pandemic because he used to be a stockbroker and he had everything saved. So you just have to have savings. I don't know how else to explain it. I think before you date, a lot of men get upset because they have to give up money or they'll say, I don't want a gold digger. What they're really trying to communicate is that I'm scared. I don't know how to control myself. I'll give her everything I have, hoping she'll like me and love me, but it's not coming from an authentic place.
wow. Hmm. What you just said. This is what you. I'm gonna put it in my words, right? Men that say they don't want a gold digger, right? They're really men that are afraid, right? That's what you're saying. They're afraid of what that means, right? Like they like I don't they don't want to get taken advantage of. They're just, in a way being vulnerable.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because men don't learn to cry. Like they need a hug. That's it. They show with money and status, they always have to. So your dick is a volatile thing, but also a seductive thing, right? But you gotta have that little seesaw, okay? And the only way you're allowed to express emotion is through money and protecting, and that's a box that you don't want to. I don't want to be in that box. No, thank you. I think that's suffocating, and I think it comes out in unhealthy ways. And I think men have a lot of pressure and they're not allowed to say that because they don't have periods. So I could be emotional and say, oh, it's okay because I'm PMSing. But what can a guy say?
Well, would you also want, and just to go into the other extreme, would you want a guy that's crying over everything and emotional? And I need a hug, and oh my god, like
I like
overly
that.
emotional,
Yeah, I don't
or is there
mind.
a balance?
I mean, in a perfect world, in control settings, if we could control anything, yeah, a balance is great. But people aren't balanced. Mental health is really bad, especially like so I'm for like trans rights and everything, and I'm kind of like I have a feminine and masculine side, and I'm trying to say is that you can't gender has nothing to do with emotions, and that's the whole problem. And I know this is a very straight male thing, but if you want to get to someone's heart, you have to be unbalanced to get balance. I don't know if that makes sense. You have to see how they work with you in a crisis. Because then, what if it's perfect? During the pandemic, relationships fell apart because they were in love, and then like something happened, and they found out they couldn't problem solve.
That makes sense. But at the same time, what I mean is there too much, um, let's say, softness or openness or emotionality from a man? Is there a limit, or just go all out and completely be, I don't know.
Well,
I
don't go
wouldn't even know how to play.
crazy. Like I don't. You have to give me an example.
Well,
Like
like you're, I don't know, you're at the mall, and um he gets
I'm
upset
going
at you.
shopping. We're not going to the mall.
That's
Like there is
or,
no
or,
mall.
or
I'm
you're
social
somewhere
anxiety.
public with him, and he's upset at you, and then he starts crying in
No,
front
the
of people.
opposite happened. I went to a club recently and I said I have paranoia, but I'm not going to tell someone that on a date. I go, I need 5 minutes alone for a second, and he just left me there and took it as like he wanted to start an argument. So I don't want someone argumentative. I'd rather have someone be like, "Oh, you need space. That's okay. I understand you. Whatever you need." Someone like that, you know?
Yeah. Oh
I don't
well,
know.
that makes sense. But what if you say I need 5 minutes and then he starts crying? Well, how can you do this to me?
Well, then we
You
could
know,
both cry. If I'm
that's
mentally
what I mean. Do you
unstable,
really
we could
want
both
another
cry.
version of you?
Well, then they're not for me. I mean, it's all an experiment, right? What can you put up with? What's your limit? So every time before you start dating, you have to have a little limit of what your deal breakers are and what your task is, because it's really easy to get like caught up in someone and then find out like, oh fuck, nope, can't do that. It's done. But then you invested money and emotions, and then so people are in like really bad relationships because they don't know when to say no.
Absolutely. So I want to touch on something that you kind of touched on, but I wanted to touch on anyway because it was a post that you posted about.
I'm scared.
I read it a few. Well, I know all of them have
I'm a
something,
little scared.
but this one
Yeah.
I read it a few times because you said something about because you have certain masculine features, right? That um the comments that you get are kind of I don't know if they hurt your feelings. So I'm not sure what to paraphrase it, but like, can you tell me about that particular post if you remember, or about that situation? And is this something that happens a lot? And how do you feel about it?
They say like my jawline. I'm hiding it. But like, I have like a very smooth jawline. I have long fingers. My waist is not as small. They all wonder if I'm trans all the time. I did try to transition recently. I was on hormone blockers, for 2 years to become I more like a guy, but because of health problems, I had to stop. I had like really high blood pressure, and it was really dangerous.
So you were
And so I,
transitioning the other way from women to men.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so now I'm just stuck in the middle. But people have always asked that throughout my life because, like, I've been sick my whole life. Like, so I don't know. I have a lot of testosterone. So I'm not quite sure. People just ask me, "Are you trans? Are you trans? Are you trans?" They never asked me in Europe, but when I moved here for the past 3.5 years, every single guy has asked me if I'm trans. I don't know if it's transphobic or there's something wrong in the States. I haven't. I lived in France for like 10 years, so I've been back for
So
like
would you
three and a half
consider
years.
yourself trans because you were trying to become a male, or since you stopped, do you think that what? Because also that another thing I read in your bio is that you refer to as they, right? So that obviously going to bring a lot of questions because um of the being trans, maybe it's not just the looks, but maybe if you say they, well, where does a straight man fall here?
This is just people in real life. This is like I went to like I'll go to gay clubs and gay men are just like, you're gay. Like I know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just say they because I feel like bi gender. So in between the two. And I wish I could transition fully, but can't. So
So you want to be a
that's
man
that.
if you could.
I mean, well, being trans, you're already that gender because gender's in the brain. So you're not, to transition is just to like see how you already are in the inside. Um, you feel like you were born in a different body and you just want to express the gender, but you're already that gender.
But are you attracted to males or females?
Both. I've dated both.
So would you be if you transition to be a man? Would you be a gay man?
Be pansexual. I'm pansexual.
Okay.
I've dated everyone on the sexual spectrum. Like I don't know, sexuality changes throughout our lives.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So do
One
you
minute
go ahead?
I was gonna say like one so in your as a teen, maybe you're attracted to a certain type of person, then as you get older that starts to change. And throughout your life, you're not the same as you were like 10 years ago, right? So every decade we change. It's the same thing with sexuality. Especially like people start to realize maybe they have a closet fetish. They don't tell anyone. Maybe they can't even tell their wives. Yeah, that's how cheating starts too. So I think people open and honesty should be from the beginning. I circling back to seduction. no matter what your sexual orientation is, if you can't be honest, you can't orgasm.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
really? I don't. For men too?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, if you say you like women's shoes, but you can't tell your wife, so you go to other people that you could express that with, and it turns you on, and you get addicted to that kind of sex. But you want to keep this person because of all the years you put in.
But meaning you can't orgasm as a woman, right? Because I think a man, we probably pretty much need like a little friction. Or tell me about that because that's interesting.
No, I'm saying it's all mental. I'm saying that if you can't be honest with yourself, man or woman, it doesn't matter the positions, you won't be able to feel like you can come because you're going to be thinking about other shit. Like, you'll come, but it won't be satisfying. You know what I mean? Like, I've had empty orgasms where I'm just like, all right, I'll do it for this person. Let's do that. Okay, good. But it wasn't mind blowing.
Okay, so for the mind blowing ones, you need honesty. You said.
Yeah, like monogamous orgasms come from honesty and being able to do anything you want with that one partner because they know they could get you off every single time. And that's really sexy.
Okay, that's great. I'm sure everybody's taking notes right now. It's like, okay, let me stop the lies. Um, so that's that. I mean, even I'm really registering this. Like, do if men if we really think that way, right? Because I think some men don't even understand the woman orgasm as it is, where they may think or not know, and on top of that, like you said, empty orgasm. I was like, wow, like
Well, it depends on the clitoris size too, though. If it's hooded, unhooded. I mean, it depends. Like every dick is different, every pussy is different. Like it depends. It also depends, like where where you like to be touched, what turns you on. And so I think people, when they talk about female orgasm, I think it's more like maybe they're not listening well. Like I think that's the problem. I don't know. I mean, it depends. Women are very easy, just like men. You just gotta ask.
okay, but is that mental thing in the woman's side? If she's closed up here, then it doesn't matter what the man does, or is there something that we men could do to like get
Well,
her out of
I,
there?
I don't like to refer to genders, but I think anybody you can. I don't. There has to be days where you're just like not coming. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. Women get mental blocks. If I don't feel sexy in the moment, I'm not gonna be able to come. I can fake it, and men can fake it too. But it's like, you know, I don't know. It depends on the person. It depends what gets you on. It depends how open you want to be. Like I said, most people get stuck on money and they don't get past that point. At least in Miami. I don't know anywhere else. I mean, I do, but I don't know the culture of where you're from.
Okay, I'm from Puerto Rico and I'm from America pretty much. So it's the same.
I
I
met
think.
LA. I met,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
met
LA
LA.
too. But meaning the Western culture, right? Because it's kind of like it's the Western thing. Like you were saying in Europe, you don't get asked if you're whatever your gender is. Where here it's like you get asked. It's that's a cultural thing.
I thought it was a Miami thing. That's why I'm asking you. In LA, do they do that? Because Miami, there's lots of plastic surgery. So do you think like maybe in LA it's the same? I never lived in LA. That's the only place. I've been to the Great Wall of China, but I've never been to LA.
But you know what it is that in the recent, it's not just. I think it might be a worldwide thing because I think in recent years, you know, trans or whatever, where very few that we knew, and also it was not as detailed as now, right? Like back in the 80s, someone trans had the worst wig. They weren't the science behind that's now that could make someone that you just really can't tell. So I think there's a lot of paranoia of, okay, I like this person, but let me not be surprised later let me get out. I don't. I'm assuming. I've never asked somebody that, but I'm assuming that the paranoia is there of I don't want to, you know, be surprised later, and then after I like this person or after we even done some things, and then where does that put me?
Well, I mean, that's not fair. I mean, I think that everything's private. I've told people I feel like a gay man. I mean, I don't know, like they have to be okay with it. I think that transphobic people kill people, and it's really it's against humans. If you want to live in a box, that's very scary. Like I was explaining, like you stay in this box, and then you got to keep going and going and going and going until one day you just completely have a mental breakdown and you just completely become someone else you don't know. There's a lot of unhappiness later in life. Like men in their 40s and 50s are super unhappy because they're not, like, I don't know, Scott Disick or something. You know what I mean? Like it's too much. There has to be more colors, more what's it called? Where there's
Like
like
diversity.
very, yes, thank you. It needs to be more diverse. It needs to be more different interpretations of what sexuality and what being a man is or what being a woman is. I think we should just all be human and we'll all have great sex. That's it.
But do you think that because if you're expecting a woman, and I don't know, I just I'm not defending those kinds of men, but if you're expecting a woman and then you get down and heavy or whatever, and she don't have the women parts, do you think
I
there should be some
catch
kind of
it.
disclosure? I mean,
No.
I don't know. Should there be? Is that
No, 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 it's dangerous. No. There's things that you probably like. That's like saying, you know, like, like you probably have secret fetishes or something. You're not gonna tell someone that. It's up to you. It's up to the person and how much they trust each other. I don't think anybody should disclose what, so I'm a third generation Mexican American, and people go, do you speak Mexican? So should I tell everybody
yeah,
I'm Mexican because I look white, like, and I am white? Like, I don't understand. That's weird. That's weird. It's
yeah, no,
weird. It's a weird conversation. It's awkward.
but I think that it answers the conversation. But I think what happens a lot of times, what I mean is, put yourself in the shoes of this guy. He had a few drinks, meet someone that's trans. They're at the club. They're dancing. Nothing, he's in his mind. This is a full woman. They go in the car, and bam, there's this extra part there. Like, should there be a disclosure before getting that far, or just let them find out?
Well, let's look at it like this way. So, uh, biracial. If someone looks white, but their mom is black and their dad is white, and would it matter if that person was black and you thought they were white? Would you not would have said? I mean, I would be scared first of all if you were racist. But I'm saying, like, wouldn't you, as you know, like, wouldn't you worry? Would you want people to like feel differently about you because you weren't a race that they wanted?
No, obviously not. But I think in the
Exactly.
biological aspect of it, it's like having a disease, right? I'm not saying I don't want to compare it that way, but just to
I have
make
a
it extreme.
disease.
Tell me about that.
I have Crohn's disease. I don't tell people. Why should I? If I don't know you well enough, it's if I feel safe. I'm trying to say is that people are different. And if you are not a safe person, then no one should disclose anything. First of all, I'm scared that there's guns here. Like, I don't want to say anything to anybody unless I feel safe and I've known them for like 6 months or more, or we spent a lot of time together. But I mean, if whatever question you have about trans people, you can relate it back to race though, because just like every person can look different, every race, every gender, what a male or female looks like, would you reject that yourself?
No, but I think race doesn't affect you physically, right? Because I think
There was
if
the
you have
Holocaust.
and I'm sorry to hear about your disease or whatever, but
But I
that
said there was the
that's
Holocaust. There was the Holocaust,
Yeah.
and they killed
No.
everybody with
Oh no.
diseases,
Yeah. That's a big
and they were
effect.
racist. Yeah, but
That
trans
was a big
people were
effect. But
there too.
let's say
Yeah.
someone has HIV and
Uh,
they know this and they have unprotected sex with someone. I think they should disclose. I think probably is the
no, you
law.
get a rapid, you get an at-home HIV test. You swab it, the
But yeah,
saliva,
yeah. Well,
and
meaning
then just
if you already
release.
know,
Yeah,
you know, and this
or you use
person
a
doesn't
condom.
know.
Use a condom. Yeah, I don't know. Use
Yeah.
protection. You don't
But
have to.
meaning it's only fair to that person to know, hey, I have something that may affect you. You can still
No,
go at it.
no. First of all, I've been in these situations. No, no. This is completely up to them and how safe they feel. You should never. It's kind. That's kind of scary. That's like the don't ask, don't tell. I don't know. It scares me. Like,
But should you let it go that far? Meaning, not I'm not saying that maybe you don't have to disclose, but should you, if you know that this person is assuming one thing and you let it continue, and like, how is that okay? Or should there be like, hey, and let's be honest, this is what it is, and maybe that person say, okay, I'm good with that, or give that person the choice rather than be already in a situation where I don't know, hotel rooms were rented and
well, you know that people are like being killed. You know, people are being killed. Like trans people. I mean, someone was just murdered for being trans. I don't think people get killed also for HIV. People get killed for everything. I think it
uh,
should matter to those two people in that relationship. And if they tell them and they get killed, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
but
Like
yeah, no, no,
that's a
but
fact. You know,
that's what I think happens a lot of times is that it goes on so long that feelings are involved, right? Well, because if you start dancing and you're at the club and the guy's having a few drinks and he's like, and she's trans and he's like, hey, let's go over to the car, and she's like, okay, but I just want to let you know, blah blah blah. Then that guy would be like, I don't care, come on, or oh, okay, no, because I think that's easier than be with that person and then dates later and then uh,
well, what did that say about you though? They're still the same person. What if you're in love? You're not going to be the same as you grow older. That's like someone rejecting you because you don't look like you're like, like a certain age anymore. That's crazy to me.
or if you
Like,
don't tell someone that you're married, right? That you're like, okay,
yeah,
and you're in a
yeah.
relationship, shouldn't you
I mean,
disclose, hey, I'm married? Find out,
no,
after this other person falls in love, is like, wait, I have a whole wife.
it all matters on how you're raised and what's important to you. It really matters. I can't answer that. It's so circumstantial. I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is that I hope these people are safe and they understand each other and nothing bad happens. Whether they tell sooner or later, that's always up to the individual. I would never, ever be so. I feel like it's ignorance to assume things, and I don't want to do that.
No, that's great. No, and these are, I'm loving this conversation because I think a lot of men that have questions, or sexuality is a very, in the male world, is very black and white, and it's either you're a straight
In
male or
LA?
you're not.
In LA,
Yeah,
you
I
mean?
mean, yeah, I mean, I think anywhere. I mean, either you're a straight male or you're not,
No, there's a
right?
third gender in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah. The third gender is the lady boys.
Yeah, but is it
And
really a
you're
third gender?
actually, yeah, no, it really is. It's part of, they're very religious. They're seen as religious pillars of their society because they're very spiritual, because they're in touch with both sexes. And they hold a very special place in that society. So yeah, there is
Ah,
in every single culture and everywhere around the world, and every single, even Native Americans always been acknowledged. Trans people have always been part of pretty much every culture,
yeah.
because you
No,
can
I mean,
also be born with both. You could be so I have a lot of testosterone, I have certain things, not every woman is born with breasts. So I'm trying to say is that genitalia looks different too. So it just all everyone's backgrounds, and I think men that find themselves in a world that's very stifling, they should maybe try to break out of that. I don't think that's healthy.
So what do you recommend to a straight man to be more
Oh,
open, or like because that's what I mean about black and white. It's very
don't be
close.
straight. Be gay. That's what I recommend. Be gay. Have lots of love in your love. I don't know.
But will a straight
I
man seduce a straight woman? But you're very open, so I think that it's a little different. But I'm speaking. Also most women are not you,
because
and
babe,
as
I'm from
open as you.
Miami.
Well,
So
listen, I think your experiences are a lot more diverse, if we use that word again. But
I want to say very eyed, but I can't think of the word. But yeah, I've had crazy. I don't know. People are if you don't have an open mind, I feel so bad for people. They're not having good sex. That's my
but
advice.
but not all women have been there. So what do you say? You think a gay man, let's say, could not a gay man, but, the type of man you're speaking of being that open, could seduce a straight woman that's kind of close minded in her way.
Oh no, that's coercion. I don't know. I don't know that they have to just keep listening and have an open mind, and for women too, have an open mind. That little voice in your head that says maybe not, maybe say yes. That's it. Just say yes to
You say,
everything
"Shut
to
up,
everything.
we're gonna do
Yeah, say
this."
shut the fuck up. We're gonna do it. We'll see what happens. If I die tomorrow, it's okay. I don't know. You have to be crazy, I guess. But
No,
I think people should be open. Yeah.
that's great. So in another part of your post, you do post you call them spicy stories. Would you say that is it like tell me a little bit about these spicy stories? Where do they come from? Or they're about they're real stories?
Well, that I can't really talk about. They're just spicy. So it's
This
like,
you have to
do
go
you
and read them.
like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, do you like spicy food?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I
so
like
yeah,
it.
you'll
I
like
like
them.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
can
but
handle it.
also the pictures you post, think that you have a lot of sexy pictures there, but I also see you complaining about these men that do what men do, right? And they see a sexy picture, and then they go, they're like, it's like open door season. So you get upset that they're not, knocking on the door, and where you're like putting, it's like a glass door, and you're like, hey, and then they come to the door. You're like, get out of the door. So how do you
I bite.
reconcile?
I bite. You should be scared. I definitely am a very unique person. I don't reconcile at all. I just let it be. So I am talking to someone and they accept all the parts of me and they're okay. One minute so that is part of my mental illness. So one minute I will be okay, the next minute, mm-mm. But I think people like what they don't understand. Like I'm sure you like the type of woman you probably go after is probably someone that isn't like, all right, this is all I need, A to B. You want someone going and like, keep them guessing. I I get bored very easily. So yeah.
I mean,
I mean, unless you like stability.
we love interesting, but meaning the part of you that I just seen you get upset at some of these comments. But what do you expect? Let's say you put
But they
a
like
picture of you
that
in a
though.
bikini. You put
They
in
like
a
that.
picture. Do you like that?
No, no, they like that.
They
They
like
like
that.
that.
Or they like that
Men
the fact
like
that you get
limits.
upset.
It's not upset. It's that you can admire a photo, but you don't have to be disrespectful. And you can still be respectful. But men aren't used to people calling them out. That's kind of a privilege that they have. So I like to do that because it's only right. And people like limitations. I mean, healthy people do. I like boundaries. I love boundaries. They're great. And then if you don't like it, you can fuck off. That's pretty like that's
That's a nice boundary. So, but
yeah,
to just kind of come to a conclusion, but because you're bringing this to the point, it's more. For example, I think I saw a comment that you said, "Oh, this guy asked me that I should do an OnlyFans or something like that." Right? And you find that very offensive. But like, why would you find that offensive?
because that's like that's like not with my values. I'm on Substack. It's against Substack policy. I don't want to be demonetized. Like, pretty much. I'm not gonna, I mean, it's risking policy. I respect Substack.
No, but meaning, did you take the suggestion that you should do OnlyFans as the offense, or what was the? Because the reason I say is because I think you're gonna get a lot of that from, and I'm not a woman, but I'm assuming women get that all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just kind of pervy. It wasn't asked for. It was unasked for. And men, I think, I don't want to know you if you're gonna ask that. And they ask that a lot. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. As a man, I had never gotten, hey, started OnlyFans. I had never gotten a woman come at me or any of my friends. I don't even think it's that. I don't. Maybe it's a man out there, but that a woman goes, "Hey, start OnlyFans so that I can pay a subscription to watch you dance or whatever." We don't get. We don't. We're so like not getting it. That's what I
The
mean. So
good
if you
ones
can
don't
explain,
dance.
like,
The good ones don't dance. You can you can start an OnlyFans though and not be sexual. If I start one, it'll probably be for cooking or like making EDM bracelets or something.
but you think it's gonna get as many views as
Oh yeah,
bikini
no, of
stuff? Or,
course, yeah, yeah. There's yoga instructors that have capitalized on it. They're like millionaires, like yoga with Adrian and stuff like that. And it's just think of it like it's your own service. Like it's like HBO Max, Showtime, Paramount Plus, but it's OnlyFans, but it's only for people that like you and will pay for your talent. So you're bringing like something to them that only you could bring. Doesn't always have to be sexual.
got it, got it. So let me close my account. I was, or
Very
let me
nice
change.
meeting you.
Let me let me change my account. I'm gonna cook now. No, but so this has been so great, and I think that you're so insightful, and I really hope people can follow your work because I see it as a work of art. Every post that comes up, I don't know what to expect, and I love it. So how can we
Thank
find you?
you.
Where do we find you, or where do you want us to find you?
Just
Better question.
Substack. It's just talk to Jax on my Substack. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna put all the links down here. Do you
it.
is Instagram you want people to follow you there?
Not really.
Okay. No,
Not
but
really.
no, the boundaries. Those are the boundaries. What do you say? Fuck off.
They could do it, so it's like a secret. They can follow it and be like, oh, I know her from Substack, but like, don't say that on Instagram. You know, it's
Got it.
basically,
So yeah, you have a
yeah,
different audience. Okay.
yeah. It's a different audience. But my
Got it.
Instagram is my very like my travel account and stuff. So yeah.
Got it.
But it was
No, but
nice meeting you.
it was amazing meeting you. Thank you so much, and I'll share all the links here, and hopefully we'll see what people say. I think we brought up a lot of things that are in the middle, and I love it.
I love it too. It's amazing. I hope
All
to talk
right.
to you again. So nice.
Thank
I
you.
wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you, Jackie.